Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Theoni with Thrifty Divas, and you are joining us for part 7 of Kitchen Chronicles. So it is Tuesday morning, but we're looking at Monday's work. So yesterday, he spent most of the time painting. He did the real paint on the ceiling. He still has another coat to do, and he installed all of the lighting. So that's exciting to finally see that. He still has to put these switches in. There's a light in the closet also. So all of the lights are in. And he did the first coat of white paint over the primer on the ceiling, and there's one more coat to go. I like it. It's looking very smooth, so I'm happy with it, especially if there's going to be another coat. And we have a lot going on. So today is Tuesday. My friend Mike from Long Island Stoneworks will be coming over later this late afternoon, early evening to template for the stone, and I will give him my final selection. And yeah, right now it's just mostly painting. I asked him to take the curtain rod down, and I measured and ordered a new one. Okay, so it's during Tuesday now, not after. Mike showed up, and then Andy said, "Can you please help me get the stove in?" So they brought the stove in together. And while Mike was templating, I looked at my final choices for stone and compared it with the cabinet and my backsplash. And it was helpful to see it all together and in the proper lighting. And now I can really see which ones look beige. See those two right there in the corner? Those are the same. That's the Miraggio. That's what I'm going with. Final decision made. And Andy continued the painting today. Turn all the lights on. So he continued making everything look more beautiful and bright. Obviously, there's still more painting that has to be done. He has to do the walls. And there's my stove. So excited to see her inside. And that's the spot for the stove right there behind it. But we have to wait for the propane people to come tomorrow. And yeah, that is basically what's going on. It's just a lot of painting right now. He will still have to do the trim, and all that. And he is going to buy the moldings. He still has to encase that window with its new size. So there's still a good amount of work that has to be done. Look at all that kind of raw sheetrock still back there on the wall. But he worked on the ceiling first, and everything's looking pretty good. And I told him to check with me about the riser on top of that, what's going to be glass cabinet, because it's growing on me the way it looks. So I have to decide about that still. Happy Thursday morning, everyone. We are going to review Wednesday's work before Thursday starts. So there was just more painting going on. More painting. as he was leaving yesterday evening. We were talking. My eyes kept kind of darting to the left. He's like, what are you looking at now? I said, oh, that annoying old phone jack. And he's like, oh, you keep adding more work for me. But luckily it was glued on. So he heated up one of those and was able to just ram it down and the thing came off. So he's like, okay, good. I'll just paint that. I have no problem doing that. And I'm like, yeah, in my opinion, I'm just saying, I feel like he should have just been asking all this time, right? Like you see this beige colored 1990s phone jack in there. You should probably ask the client, like, hey, do you still need this? But what do I know, you know? All right. And then he did painting everywhere I picked gray also. This lighting is not really doing it any justice. It looks way too dark. But I opted for gray inside the coat closet, gray inside the pantry, and then if I can make my way over here, we also decided for gray behind the wall of the refrigerator. And it like almost matches perfectly the cabinetry. We did that because there's gonna be like a 4 or 5 inch gap from the fridge to here. So in case it like shows, it'll be gray and you'll barely notice it. He also put in all of the counter outlets. So there's one over there, there's one over here, there's one over here, and you can't see it, but and there's one over there. That's the GFI, and then he had to get the power stuff ready for the dishwasher and figure out the drainage. It might be too far, but he's trying his best to not add a coupling. Then he's going to Home Depot for the encasements for this new window and then all of the floor molding. I told him to paint behind there white behind the stove to keep it the wall color. But yeah, you see here all the floor molding. So he's going to pick that up today. And he's also picking up the shelf. We talked about a shelf for the closet, and he's using my old pole because it's a nice heavy duty wood one that won't bend. So he's gonna do that. I don't even know. Oh, this is the risers and the molding. Oof. Okay. What else? Oh, and then he's gonna paint the trim, all the trims around the window and stuff. I bought a semi-gloss. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. He better sand that down. I'm so nitpicky. I hope he knows this. What else? Oh, and then he was gonna go buy like the regular contractor outlet covers and stuff. I said, no, that's okay. I gotta show you guys what I got. Brett came home yesterday. I said, so I ordered the outlet plates and you're gonna hate them. That's what he said. And then I showed him and he goes, I see. That's why you didn't bother asking me, huh? I'm like, yeah, you'll be fine. It'll be okay. I'll show you guys. But believe it or not, when you see the hardware that came, the handles, Brett was all aboard with the handles, like 1000% all aboard. He loves them. And then when they arrived, he came in and held them up to one of the cabinets and he's like, wow, like Yeah, he's all aboard. He's picking up what I'm throwing down. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so that is where we're at now. And yeah. So today he's going to do, I think, that kind of work, everything we just discussed. But as usual, we will see after the day is done. So I'll see you guys later. Oh, these are the island side panels that go here. And I think he still didn't run the power there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't run the power there yet into the island. Propane is supposed to come today. So I got to talk to Andy as soon as he comes. And then here's like the top parts of the stove in that box. And he's gonna, yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous about that. Let's hope everything goes well with the propane. I am more nervous about the town coming to re-inspect afterward. That's where I'm really nervous about. But I have to call them at 8:30, as you know, from last segments, last episode, when they said call at 8:30 in the morning to get a time slot. So we have to do that. And I have to wake my son up in a little while for school. And that is Wednesday's recap. I'll see you guys later. More giant trucks in our driveway. My favorite kind of stress. I'm being sarcastic. Alrighty. Here we go. Andy just brought in our dishwasher. So exciting. My little baby dishwasher. I keep saying, look, it's the baby to Brett. It's an 18-inch. I'm very excited about that. But there she is, finally, inside. All right, are you guys ready for Thursday's recap? It was a busy day. So, Andy needed a partner. Not just a helper, but like a partner, like a more skilled craftsman. So his guy came last night, but he couldn't come, I think, till like after his regular job. So it was a very late night. They ended up leaving right before 9 o'clock. But I decided I didn't want anything there. And are you ready? It's completely different, a completely different look. Ready? They did all the risers and crown. Isn't it crazy? It's so different. Now I have to get used to this. Isn't it crazy? Anyway, okay, so let me tell you about this situation yesterday. So they came and hooked up the propane. I need to talk to the company to find out when the town is coming back to inspect. But so it turns out that my husband did not know that there was a difference between propane and natural gas, and he didn't know that there was a difference in stoves. He knew nothing, and I had no idea, because when we bought this, I asked him, when my husband asked me if I wanted to buy this, I said absolutely, and I said, is it gas or propane? Because I've been down this road before by myself in my last house. He said propane. I know he did, and I even texted my mom, and it was almost a year ago. I found the text. Told her, look at what we're buying. It's propane. Awesome. Da, da, da. Okay. So when the guys came yesterday, they're like, is this gas or propane? I said, we've never used it before, but I'm under the impression that it's propane. So they hook up all the propane. They turn it on. They light it. And I was just hoping it was going to work, right? So I was like holding my breath. And then it worked. And I was like, whoo. But then the propane guy says, those flames are kind of really big, and they have orange tips to the flames. That's usually a sign it's natural gas, because it lets more air through the line for the natural gas. He said propane is lower flames and all blue. There's like no orange at all. So I'm like, oh, great. So now I'm thinking, great, I have to convert the orifices. However, you guys know what this is, right? It's a Viking. So the orifices themselves are like $250. Then you need somebody who can work on it. So anyway, then they go to plug it in there into there. And it keeps tripping the breaker. It keeps tripping, not the breaker, sorry, the GFI. They did it 4 times in a row. And every time they plugged it in, it would trip the GFI. So they're asking Andy, and Andy's like, I don't know what it is. Not my problem. He literally said that. He said it must be something with the stove. So then the guys call me over, tell me, they're like, we don't know the electrical stuff. We only know, the propane portion. But they said something's going on that every time we plug in the stove, it's tripping the GFI. It could be a bad ground. It could be maybe a fuse in there. They're like, we don't really know. I'm like, okay, great. So Brett had to go back to work, but he's like panicking, thinking if he needs to ask his friend for his money back and all this stuff. I'm like, don't worry about it. And I said, and lucky for you, no matter what the problem is, it'll just get fixed, because that's what happens for Brett. It's great. I wish I had that. So anyway, Brett leaves for work. I said, just don't worry about it right now. So I'm thinking, how much would it cost to buy not this stove, but any stove, right? $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. And I'm like, all right, so if this doesn't get fixed, if this doesn't work, I still would need to buy a normal stove, right? Like a non-Viking. So I go on the Viking website and I found one of the technicians, that a repair company that they list on the actual Viking website. So I made an appointment for Tuesday. They're going to call me Tuesday morning at like 9:30 to give me a 2-hour window. Had to pay $160 just to make the appointment. I'm like, all right, well, we'll find out what it is. He'll tell me if it's worth fixing or whatever. And keep in mind, I'm not bragging, trust me, because I bought this used, because it's the only way I'll ever have one. This is like a $5,500 stove, okay? So I'm like, all right, I need to like weigh my numbers here though, So I have to see if it's worth fixing at all. So that was that. Then Andy calls me over after the appointment was made. He goes, I think I have what might be good news for you. I said, okay, what's up? So he said he came to mess with it because he was like, why is it tripping the GFI? This was after the propane guys left and everything. So he said this cord, I don't know if, this wood here, hold on. Okay. Can you see this? That box, that little box that sticks out in the casing. Right there. He said the cord was actually cinched in there, and then Andy unscrewed it and pulled the cord out and then plugged it in, and it didn't trip. So he said what that means to him is that the cord is nicked. And the like metal of this box was given a bad ground or whatever, which kept tripping the GFI. Good news is that's probably the problem. Kind of still bad news is that Andy said you definitely need to get a new power cord, because if it was tripping like that, there's a nick and it's a major fire hazard. So that's that. And yeah. So, Andy also told me to call the repair company that's coming and tell them to bring a power cord so that they have it with them. And the conversion, we shall see. So today, I'm sorry, while I was talking to you, I just noticed this and I can't even get to it. I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh man. Anyway. Yeah. So that's that. And then my brand new dishwasher. Look at how filthy it is, guys. Look at the handprints. Am I being nitpicky? I don't know, but man, I don't want to have to look. Like, that's right out of the box. Goodness gracious. Hands. Put on gloves or something. Do what you gotta do. I don't know. Anyway. So, yeah, we'll have to polish all our appliances. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, he did that yesterday. Hooked it up. Did the plumbing in there. Because that was just those 2 copper pipes that stick out. Like little bullet ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like done, but now it's done. And he's got the dishwasher drain hose and all that hooked up. The dishwasher power is hooked up. Yeah. I got to stop looking around so much because I'm going to keep seeing stuff that upsets me. Anyway, so he said today, I guess he's going to put the doors back on, I'm assuming, of the cabinets. But he mentioned bringing in, I got to get out of here. He mentioned bringing in the floor and possibly getting that going. So that's cool. Oh, and the other thing that he did yesterday was install dimmers anywhere that we go. Anywhere that they go. It's called a Diva dimmer. I think that's hilarious. So it's like the regular switch, but then the little dimmer is like a little slidey part on the side. So he did that one. And then he installed these 2 in the living room also. And yeah, I ordered my switch plates. I'm waiting for my switch plates to come so I can put those on when the time comes. And that is it for Thursday's recap. Super long, super crazy day. And I will recap you Friday when that's finished. And I cannot wait for the weekend. I'll catch you guys later. Well, happy Saturday morning, everyone. We are recapping Friday's work and the entire week. I can't really get to that light switch. Reason being, Andy brought in the flooring. That's half the flooring. It's getting dented already. But anyway, we got to make it quick so I don't get stressed out. Okay. He put the frame of the closet, you know, is pre-hung door. So he put the hung part, I guess, in there. I was just making sure it was in the right way. Okay. You know, the crown has been done. What else did he do yesterday? He did a lot yesterday. I'm trying to think. Now you can see how nice that gray background looks on the refrigerator. So he painted the door for the closet. He took out the bifolds for the pantry, painted those as well. So those are, everything's drying. He took Structolite, and filled in that gap in front of the pantry. And more importantly, because this was like a huge problem, he put Structolite in at the fridge base to make it even, because this was ridiculous. It's almost like 2 inches back there and like nothing up here. And my refrigerator apparently doesn't have the adjustable back legs. It only has adjustable front legs. And they were all the way down when it was installed by the company when I got the new fridge. I actually did a vlog on that too, way back when we got it. Like 3 years ago or something, 3 or 4. It was so tilted back that I have an egg dispenser thing that you're supposed to be able to pull out an egg and then the next one rolls forward. No, they all rolled back. Okay, that's how bad it was. I had to like prop it up with something, the egg thing, for it to even be straight. So hopefully this is going to solve that problem. If not, Andy said he'll put like a piece of wood or something. I'm hoping that doesn't need to be done now with the Structolite, because that is the correct way to do it. But yeah, so and then he painted this, what was it? I think it was pine. He painted this pine white. That's going to be to build the window frame. Then that 12-inch piece is for the shelf in my closet. And he painted that gray. The pole is hiding back there. He painted it white. We talked about all our colors. And then I think these are to hold the shelf up. I had to order the side brackets for the pole. They're coming Sunday because we ran to Home Depot and they didn't have the right size. So that's that. Because it's like a really big pole. Like you see, it's like a huge pole, but that's why I like it, because it's nice and heavy duty. So I ordered those side brackets. The service guy's coming Tuesday, but I still have to call Monday to tell them about the power cord and hope for the best there. I have to tell you, I'll hop on camera in a second, even though it's early morning and I look like caca. I have to tell you what the propane guy told me about the town. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But anyway, so here's the floor. Here's half the floor, like I said. The other half is all laid out here. He painted the moldings. I don't know if he's gonna go in and do another coat on those. I mean, not the trims, you know what I mean. He painted that spot that had the phone jack. And, oh, this is all the floor molding that he went and picked up. Floor and like door and window moldings that need to be, anything that needs to be changed. I'm trying to think of what else he did. Yesterday was kind of a short day. It was a nice short day. But what he did tell me, shockingly enough, was that after what he hopes to be next week, this upcoming week, to quote him, I will be out of your hair until Mike is done with the stone. Then he has to come back to do the backsplash, the handles on the cabinets, and hook up the plumbing to the sink that Mike will undermount. Yeah, so that's what he allegedly says. Interesting. So we shall see. Right now, the thing I am most stressed about is the town. So let's sit and talk about that for a sec, and then that'll wrap up Kitchen Chronicles number 7. Hi, guys. Again, don't mind the way I look, please, at all. So, let me tell you what the propane guy said to me, okay? Before he even started his work, it was him and another guy, and it took them, we should go out and take a look. Maybe I'll put that in next week's because I'm tired and this is finished. It took them, they were here for almost 5 hours. So they had to hook up the propane line, the propane tank, they put a slab, they run the line all the way down into the house, drill into the house, hook it up into the stove. Then they had to test the stove. Then they had to pressure test the line. It was about 4.5 hours. So pretty crazy. But I was talking to the first guy that came out of the truck, and we were talking about where to put it and this and that. So anyway, and then I said, I said, when the town comes back to inspect, I said, do you know if they come inside? He goes, they definitely come inside. They definitely come inside because they have to like turn on the stove, check the line, pressure test it, whatever. I said, okay. Now, if you recall, way back from probably episode 3 or 4, when Andy told me that the hood had to be 3 inches bigger than the stove on each side or something, which we don't have. Anyway, also Andy told me that he's not putting up the hood until the backsplash is done. So, and again, I don't know when the town is even coming. I'm going to call the propane company on Monday morning, I guess, and see if, I don't know. I just don't know. I also need to ask them, like, if they can come at any time or if anything has to be in place before they come. I don't know. So this is literally the part that's stressing me out the absolute most, because there's no controlling what the town does, you know? But the propane guy, when he was listing like what they do when the town, he goes, they'll go in the basement. I said, what are they going in the basement for? He goes, to see if it's finished so they can raise your taxes. I was like, really? So he's like, is it finished? I'm like, it's partially finished. So then we started talking, and he alleges, he's just the propane guy. He's like, when they come to my house, I tell them, no, I don't have a basement. I'm like, they could see the windows out. He's like, so what? But anyway, he's like, people are just like, no, you can't go in the basement. It has nothing to do with this job. Here's, look at what you got to look at. But anyway, file all this away. But then he alleges, he said, just tell them it's a playroom and an office. Playroom for the kids with toys, and your office or something, because you're allowed to have both those things. Now, I do have a home office, but it's upstairs, right? But anyway, so I was like, oh, it's definitely a playroom. You go down there, you can't even walk. There's so many toys. He goes, there you go. You're allowed to have that. This is what he alleges. So then I tried to like Google it, but all I found was like forums for my town. And it was just regular people claiming to know what they know. Anyway, so I'm all stressed out about this. It's like making me sick. But a friend of mine from law school just became the neighboring town's attorney. Good for her. I'm so proud of her. She moved up the rank. We worked at Legal Aid together too. Went to law school together, started together, finished together, worked at Legal Aid together. And then I just saw a couple months ago or something, she became the town attorney for the township next to us. So I'm going to ask her if she knows anything. Each township is different, but she should know. Then she'll also know our legal rights. If I could be like, no, you're not going in my basement, Andy was like, you let them in your house, they could go wherever you want. As an attorney, that doesn't sound correct to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like police, if they come into my house, if I let them, I can stop them at any time or limit their access. So we do have certain privacy rights, but I just need to find out exactly what those are without repercussion. But even talking about it is literally making me like sick. This is the part that is, oh God, that and the stove repair issue. So I have to remember to call them Monday too, and hopefully tell them that they need to bring a power cord, and see if they plan on doing the repairs that day. I hope, I need to get this all done so that I can be as ready as possible for the town, because we know the hood's going to be delayed, but I don't know. Oh gosh, I can't wait. But anyway, I can't wait till that part is done. Really, I feel so sick and stressed out about it. So we shall see. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Brett. Brett's like, the town doesn't know the basement's partially finished. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what they did before we bought it, or what was, I could go back to all my paperwork and put on my real estate lawyer hat and look through all the paperwork and see what it listed on the deed or whatever, the property descriptions and stuff like that. But they haven't been into our house or property since we bought it. That I know. And that was 7.5 years ago. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely going to try to talk to my friend from law school, see if she can give me any inside scoops. Because if she knows anything, she will definitely tell me. She'll give me the lowdown. So that is that. That's where we are leaving Kitchen Chronicles. Episode 7. I don't even know what week we're at this point. When did we start this? Friday, January 26th, I think. Let me look back at my day runner real quick. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. We started Friday, January 26th. January to February. So it's like 5 weeks already, right? I can't math right now. I'm too tired and too scared. I'm too scared internally. Anyway, all right, we're going to wrap it up. I'm hoping to have a nice weekend. We have some nice things planned for this week and stuff. And I'm going to go. I have a Temu haul that I definitely need to film very, very soon. Hopefully tomorrow. And yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We would greatly appreciate if you decide to become a permanent part of the Thrifty Divas family. Leave it a big thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment, please. It totally helps the video. It's a YouTube thing. If there's no comments on it and no likes, they see no interaction and they don't recommend the channel to other people. That's how channels end up in your recommended, through the thumbs up and comments, honestly. So anyway, I'm going to go. And until the next one, guys, stay blessed, my friends. I love each and every one of you.